Hey, be a squid and subscribe to my mediocrity. How's it going, my squids? Today we're gonna be talking about sleeping dogs and this game. Oh man, oh, it's so hard to talk about this game because I love it so much. And when I had heard about the sequel being made, I was like, yes. And then it got canceled, and then the company went under, and it's so sad. It really is so fucking sad, dude. Like, this game literally is like a movie. Like, if you guys are looking for a very top-notch single-player game, even though it's a little obviously dated and whatnot, this right here, like, in terms of a story, is one of the most interesting things I've ever played in my life. I would go as far to say that Sleeping Dogs was essentially the Red Dead Redemption 2 quality of story, at its time. It was definitely ahead of its time. This whole game is like a damn movie. Very cinematic. You actually get it does such a good job getting you invested into the story. If you guys don't know what Sleeping Dogs is about, it's basically about Chinese triads. Your main character is Wei Shen, an undercover cop who's trying to infiltrate the triads in order to, you know, bring it down. He also has like a personal vendetta against one of the Sun On Yee members, whose name is Dog Eyes, which, by the way, Dog Eyes, I know you're a piece of shit, but goddamn, that's a cool ass fucking bad guy name. Like, Dog Eyes, that's real shit right there. And then slowly, as you're playing through the whole storyline and whatnot, you start to notice that Wei Shen is losing himself. You know, he's an undercover cop and he's slowly becoming Sun On Yee. And you playing Wei Shen, you end up feeling the same way. You're like, yo, Sun On Yee for life, motherfucker. I swear to God, dude, this game had me speaking Chinese, Mandarin throughout the whole damn day. The first time I played this, I was like, do mei lo mo, and I was like, oh my God, where'd I learn that from? It does such an amazing job to get you invested into the story, and I don't want to spoil anything more than that. It's really great, and I highly recommend either you play the game yourself or just watch the whole like story arc on YouTube. It's on there, you know, that's what most people do anyway, but you get the idea. It's such a wonderful game that gets you invested. This is literally movie quality from years ago, and this was in a video game that no longer exists, nor does the company exist, and it's so upsetting because the Sleeping Dogs 2 was supposed to be the like kind of GTA 5 level shit, you know. It's basically Kung Fu GTA. Like, how does that not sound cool as fuck? You know, you and your boys, you roll up and then you start kicking the shit out of people. You know, you're doing roundhouses, you're doing backflips, you're doing judo stuff. Like, I don't know, dude. You're just doing a lot of crazy stuff. You know what I'm saying? And that was one of the things that Sleeping Dogs was missing out on at the moment, was cooperative gameplay, which it was announced that in Sleeping Dogs 2 there was going to be co-op gameplay, and that sucks so much because I would have loved to do that. Not to mention, they were going to add a bunch of other stuff like helicopters, planes, and just a whole bunch of different stuff that was going to be added, and the storyline was going to be a lot different. I'm pretty sure from what they had said, you were going to have like a crooked partner or something on the lines of that, and that was going to be the main focus perhaps. I'm not entirely sure. I'd have to go back and do some more research, but I mean, I just didn't feel like doing it because obviously, you know, we're not going to get it, so just reading it would just upset me. Now you might be wondering as to why we didn't get Sleeping Dogs 2. How come we didn't get the sequel? Like, what's going on? Well, to be honest, this game is actually incredibly underrated. Like, believe it or not, there are a lot of people out there that don't even actually know that this fucking game exists. Even for me, when I had found out about this game had already been out for like a year and a half. So it was actually super upsetting when I had heard about the sequel, and then I found out about the game, and then it was just like, yes, give me all of it. And then it's like 6 months later or something, and then boom, we're like, yeah, studio's down, we're done, you buy. It's like, oh geez. So you can obviously see the issues here. Of course, it basically was, you know, the game didn't sell too well. It wasn't exactly something that was like AAA title, even though I would argue the point that it could have been so much more if people just gave it the right attention, if they did better marketing, or just whatever, you know. It just kind of sucks, and this is something that single player games have such a hard time with, especially if they're kind of, you know, like the first one. If it doesn't catch fire, then the sequel becomes less and less likely, because single player games only offer to a certain what's the word I'm looking for here? Demographic. It only offers, you know, single player games only work for a certain amount of people, because everybody likes to play with their friends, and when you don't, you know, include that feature, people tend to be turned off to the idea. Only the real players that have a lot of free time and don't have a lot of friends, or if their, you know, time is like spent elsewhere, you know, and single player is not really your thing, you know, it becomes this idea, or not idea, it becomes this thing where you have to choose, all right, do I want to play with my friend, or do I want to play a single player game by myself? Like 9 times out of 10 you're gonna choose playing with your friend, which is why I preach so much about putting co-op modes in your games, whether it be horde modes, whether it be just anything, like literally anything, as long as it's good and it works. Like, just look at Assassin's Creed Odyssey. Not to say that their sales were bad or anything, but I'm just saying it could have been a lot more if you could actually have a cooperative experience with a buddy. Imagine being a Spartan with your homie and you guys are fighting wars together. You guys are, you know, pirating around on boats together. Just imagine that kind of experience. But it's always a missed opportunity with games like these, and it's like, I don't know why, because you would appeal to more people if you would just put in co-op gameplay. Like, just give me it in every game. Just thank God that DMC actually has co-op gameplay, because if that game wasn't co-op, I'd be so upset. It just sucks, you know what I mean? Because Sleeping Dogs was such a missed opportunity for a lot of people, and even though you can still buy the game now and obviously, you know, just experience it and whatnot, but it's just such a sad thing when you see a very good game that had so much potential just get shut down. Like, you could do so much. You had fight clubs, you actually had cockfighting, believe it or not, that's a real thing. That was crazy. You've got races, street races specifically, you know, you've got a great storyline, and if they had co-op gameplay, that would have been really great to go through that together. And then you also had so many other things, you know, like it's so sad. It's genuinely upsetting when you really think about it. And if you've played the game, I'm sure you probably feel the same way, because it's one of the greatest games of all time, and this is like, if I had a Hall of Fame, this would be in there for sure. It is one of the best titles out there. I highly recommend it if you guys are looking for a great single player experience. But that's it for today's video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. I'll talk to you guys on the next one. Bye bye.